Hi everybody, it's me, Tess loves this yarn. And you guys, I'm sorry I don't think I've made a video in maybe about 2 weeks. I have not been feeling well. I've had some medical issues going on. One of them is my shoulder. If I didn't tell you guys, I had my shoulder replaced, total shoulder replacement. Well, I had this one done in May. I had this one done in November. And then right before Christmas, as I was still trying to heal this shoulder, I tripped over my little dog Max. And I unfortunately caught myself with this arm and I damaged the shoulder. So we're in the process of figuring out what I'm going to do. I don't know if I'm going to have surgery again. I most likely will, but I have some other medical issues going on right now that I won't get into, but I may be having a surgery for that. So, which is going to be more important than fixing my shoulder right now. So, yeah, a lot going on just with my health. And then there's life, right? Wonder Boy and everything else going on in my life. So, yeah, so I apologize for kind of being a little absent here, but I'm going to try better, or harder, not better. I'm going to try harder to sneak in a little video, at least here and there, just so you guys know I'm still here, because I'm still here, right? So, the thing I'm going to share with you today is something that I do that helps me when I'm crocheting or knitting a pattern that has repeats. And I'm going to show you a little bit of a pattern here. This pattern is by Complicated Knots. Complicated Knots. And she is an Australian designer, and she does amigurumi. I don't think I've ever seen her do anything other than amigurumi, but even if you don't do amigurumi, in lots of patterns you have repeats, right? And so when I say a repeat, what I mean by that is, I'm going to show you that. See this right here? A repeat is usually in parentheses like this. I hope you guys can see that. Oh, maybe I should show you on that side. So here we go. It's in a repeat like this. It's in brackets. And it'll have a number either in front of it or behind it. And that indicates you repeat what's inside the bracket that amount of times, okay? And so I do a lot of patterns with repeats, and I don't know if it's because I'm getting older or what, but sometimes I lose my train of thought on how many repeats I have done. And I tell you what, it's not always easy to go back and look at your stitches and figure it out, especially if you're crocheting or knitting in the round, or if you're just crocheting a type pattern. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, if you're using a smaller hook size or something like that, it's not always easy figuring out exactly how many of those repeats that you've done, right? And sure, can I figure it out? Sure I can, but I'm going to have to stop my work. I'm going to have to go back and painstakingly look at every stitch to figure that out. And y'all know I'm pulling my hair out. I would be pulling my hair out if I didn't use this very easy little system that I have. And y'all can use anything for this, but I took some cardstock that I had, because you guys know I'm also a card maker. I like to make my own greeting cards. So I took some simple cardstock that I already had and a paper punch, and specifically this paper punch, just a circle, pretty much just a simple scallop circle, but like I said, you can use anything, and I made these. And so can't put my arm up here, so I'm going to show you against something there. There we go. So you can see it against this lovely picture of a sheep. And so, yeah, it's just this that I punched out. And I punch out, and I make new ones when they get too ratty looking. But I used to use buttons to do this, and I found that over time I would lose my buttons, and that's almost as bad as losing your marbles, right? Because you don't want to lose all your buttons. And that's, yeah, sure enough, I was losing my buttons. So I decided, well, if I lost these little paper bits, I wouldn't be that upset, right? So that's why I started using cardstock. And you could use anything. You could use a cereal box and just cut, you know, a couple of squares or whatever, triangles, whatever shape you want. But I usually cut out about 10, and I may not always use all 10. Most of the times when I do repeats, they're usually not more than 6 repeats at a time. Y'all know what I'm saying? So as I'm crocheting, I'll do a repeat, and then I have these in a pile, and I'll pick one up and I'll put it down into a separate pile. And that means I've just done one repeat. Then I do the next repeat and I pick up another one. Now I have 2. So I've done 2 repeats. And I just keep transferring these until I've done the required amount of repeats. So if I lose my train of thought, or if I get interrupted by a phone call, or, you know, UPS truck out there. Shh, don't tell anybody. Yeah, I do love to order yarn and other things, right? Who doesn't? Y'all know what I'm talking about. But if I get distracted by anything, then all I have to do is look at my little pile that's sitting next to my project, and I'll know if I did those repeats or not. Perfect, right? The other thing that I do with my patterns when I'm working on a pattern, so say I'm working on this pattern, which is a bunny pattern by Complicated Knots. I like her. Y'all know I like her. I do like her a lot. So anyway, what I do when I print out a pattern, I take the pattern and I put it in a page protector. And then guess what you can do? You can take a marker and you can check off the round that you just did, or the row that you just did, depending on if you're doing something in the round or if you're doing something flat. You can, like, for example, when I would there's no rounds here, but like, okay, so here's a round. I would finish that round and I would just put a line through where it says R1 for round 1 or R1 for row 1. I just put a little line through it, and it just takes a quick second to do. And that way, if I have to step away or if I have to put my crochet or knitting down, then I know exactly where I am when I come back. Because what's the number one rule, y'all? Never walk away from your crochet or your knitting in the middle of a row or a round. Always complete that row or round unless somebody's bleeding. Okay? If somebody's bleeding, put it down by all means. But if nobody's bleeding, finish that row, finish that round, finish it, and then put it down and go do what you need to do. Okay? That way you can cross that off and you put everything down next to your chair, on your craft table, or wherever you like to crochet or knit. And when you come back, you're ready to go again. And there's no confusion. None. Zero. It's a beautiful thing, everybody. Beautiful. And I tell you, I've noticed, like I said, since, I'm up in my 50s, my late 50s, and I've noticed as I've gotten older, I don't always remember where I stopped. Just like I don't always remember how many repeats I've done. So these are just little tools that I use to help me stay on track with the project, so I am not frogging something endlessly. Because I hate to frog things. I hate it, hate it, hate it. And I don't say hate very often, y'all. I do not. But I hate to frog things. Ugh. It's a waste of my time. A lot of times it's a waste of the yarn, because sometimes the yarn is just no good after that. You know what I mean, right? I'm sure you've done that before. So yeah, rather than take the chance of having to waste my time or mess up my project or whatever, I do these simple little things and it keeps me on track. So I hope that's helped you guys. If you are like me and you can't always keep track of where you are or what you're doing in a pattern, because either you're watching TV while you're doing it, or you're distracted by something, or you have to walk away for a few minutes. So, and for you younger people who have kiddos, little young kiddos, I know that's probably a real challenge right there. So you might want to try one or both of these tips, or three, actually three. Don't walk away in the middle of a round or a row was the third tip, right? So yeah, put your patterns in page protectors and then just put a line through the row or the round when you finish that row or round. Make yourself these out of anything, or use pennies. I used to use pennies, but then they can be kind of dirty, which, that's icky, right? But if pennies don't bother you, use some pennies. Use any small little thing that you have that's not going to roll away from you. I mean, yeah, don't use marbles because they're going to roll away. But anything small that you can just take with you, like I can put these in my bag. And I've got these with me no matter where I go. And I can just whoop, whoop, whoop. You know what I mean? So yeah. So that's it for today, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this short little video about some tips that I use, some really good ones, I think, for keeping my place. Yeah. And I just want to take a minute to thank all of you for subscribing, for hitting the like button, because you guys are so supportive, and I am so grateful and thankful to each and every one of you. And I don't know if I've said that lately, so I want to say thank you so much. If you're subscribed to my channel, I appreciate you tremendously. And you guys, I am at, let's see, I have over 1,800 subscribers now. I think 1,860 or something close like that. And just a little tidbit, I'm going to have a big giveaway when I hit 2,000 subscribers. Yeah, and I'm going to talk about that soon, okay? So as soon as I hit 1,900, I'll make a little video about the giveaway. But yeah, I'm super excited about it. So anyway, that's it for right now. As always, be kind and be safe out there in the world, no matter where you are. Until next time, everybody. Mwah. Bye.